Have you ever dreamed of leaving everything behind and starting a completely new life in another country? A place where the streets are clean, the buildings are tall, and the opportunities feel endless. Maybe you've seen it on social media. Perfect photos, happy faces, beautiful cities at night. People smiling in cafes, traveling, living what looks like a dream life. And you start thinking, maybe my life could be better there. Maybe I just need a chance somewhere else. But here's something most people never show you. Behind those perfect pictures, there are stories you don't see. Stories of loneliness, struggle, fear. And nights where people quietly question everything they did to get there. Because moving to another country is not just a dream. It's a test. A test of patience. A test of strength. And sometimes, a test of survival. There are people who leave home thinking life will change immediately. They believe success is waiting for them at the airport. That the moment they arrive, everything will fall into place. But reality is very different. New languages that feel impossible to understand. Jobs that are harder to get than expected. Bills that never stop coming. And silence. The kind of silence that makes you feel invisible in a crowded city. You walk through streets full of people, but still feel completely alone. And in those moments, one question starts to grow in your mind. Did I make the right decision? This is the part of the story nobody posts online. The part where dreams meet reality. Because living abroad is not only about success. It's about what happens when no one is there to help you. When your family is far away. And when you have to rebuild your entire life from zero, while pretending you're okay. Some people give up. Some people return home. But some slowly learn how to survive. They learn how to stand again after every rejection. How to smile even when they feel broken inside. How to grow in a place that never feels like home at first. And this is exactly where Daniel's story begins, a 24-year-old young man who believed that moving abroad would change everything. He didn't know that the real journey was just about to begin, not the journey across countries, but the journey of becoming someone stronger than he ever imagined. Have you ever dreamed of living in another country? Many people imagine a better salary, beautiful cities, and a happier life. Social media makes it look perfect. But behind every smiling photo is a story that most people never see. Daniel was 24 years old and came from a small town. His family worked hard, but money was always a struggle. His biggest dream was to help his parents live a better life. After years of saving money and waiting for his visa, Daniel finally got the chance. At the airport, his mother hugged him tightly with tears in her eyes. His father smiled and said, "Work hard, stay honest, and never forget where you came from." Daniel promised he would make them proud. When he arrived in his new country, everything looked amazing. The streets were clean, the buildings were huge, and people from many different cultures filled the city. Daniel believed his new life had finally begun, but after a few weeks, reality hit him. He struggled to understand the language. Finding a job was much harder than he expected. Every interview ended with rejection. His savings slowly disappeared. Finally, Daniel accepted a night job cleaning office buildings. Every night he worked while everyone else was sleeping. The work was exhausting, but he never gave up because every month he sent money home to his family. Whenever his mother called, she asked, "Are you happy?" Daniel always smiled and replied, "Yes, Mom. Everything is going well." But he never told her how lonely he felt. He never mentioned the nights he sat alone, wondering if he had made the right decision. One cold winter evening, after finishing work, Daniel sat alone at a bus stop. Snow covered the streets, and people hurried past without noticing him. For the first time since arriving, he quietly asked himself, was leaving home really worth it? Just then, an older man sat beside him, looked at Daniel, smiled, and asked, "First year here?" Daniel looked up and slowly nodded. The older man introduced himself as Michael. He had moved to the country more than 30 years earlier. Looking at Daniel, he smiled and said, "I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way when I first arrived." Daniel asked, Does life ever become easier? Michael replied, life doesn't become easier, you become stronger. Before leaving, Michael shared 3 simple lessons. First, never compare your first year to someone else's 10th year. Second, learn something new every day, even if it's only one new word. Third, don't only work for money, build friendships. Because success means nothing if you have nobody to share it with. Daniel decided to follow that advice. Every day after work, he spent time learning the language. He joined a local community, met new people, and slowly became more confident. Although he made many mistakes, he never stopped trying. Months later, his hard work was finally noticed. He received a better job, earned a higher salary, and moved into a comfortable apartment. For the first time since leaving home, Daniel truly felt that he belonged. Years later, Daniel realized something important. Moving abroad didn't change his life overnight. The challenges changed him, the lonely nights, the difficult work, and the moments when he wanted to quit made him stronger than he had ever imagined. If you're living far from home today, remember this. Feeling lonely doesn't mean you're failing. Every challenge is helping you become the person you're meant to be. Keep learning, keep believing, and never give up on your dream. If this story inspired you, leave a comment and tell us where you're watching from. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more inspiring stories. Remember, sometimes home isn't the place where you were born. Sometimes it's the place where you refuse to give up.